It is wonderful to be back in Oxford, in what I understand may soon be renamed the Coke Oxford Union. Welcome. 18 years ago in this very building, while signing up, giving my membership fee to join the union, I left my wallet on the counter. My fault. I left, realized sometime thereafter I lost my wallet. And I later got a call notifying me that it had turned up in a post office. Went to the post office, got my wallet. The money had carefully been extracted. Nothing else had been taken. And then the wallet was dutifully dropped in the post box so it could end up back with me. It was a very English stealing. The only thing that could have made the robbery more of this island would have been if the tea bag was enclosed in the returned wallet. And what happened here 18 years ago is not irrelevant to tonight's conversation, because billionaires, in many cases, are people who steal your wallet, take out the money, and use the fact that they returned your empty wallet as proof of their virtue. Is it immoral to be a billionaire? Tonight I rise to argue that it is, and that it is in a way that calls upon us to enlarge our imagination of what morality asks of us. I listened carefully to the opposition, and I understand the distinction they're trying to draw between individual acts and other things, merely being a billionaire. No. Today I want to talk about two different moralities at play in this question. The morality of what you actively do, and the morality of systems you passively benefit from, make use of, enjoy, neither fighting for them forcefully nor forcefully resisting them. I want to take each morality in turn, the morality of doing and of allowing, in our discussion of billionaire ethics. I come to this conversation not as a theorist, but as a reporter. I don't know about the others in this conversation. I'm someone who's interviewed a tremendous number of billionaires on the record. I also speak to many more off the record who explain to me how they do their philanthropy and then show me how they set up their trusts to avoid taxes, right? So I have the receipts, as they say. My first observation, based on that work, that reporting, is that on the question of active commission, if you look at how a great many billionaires in our time, I agree, you can't say this about all at all times, but a great many that I have studied and talked to have made their money, there are almost inevitably morally questionable choices involved. Among the things they do to gain and keep that billionaire status are these. They find clever new ways to pay people as little as possible and as precariously as possible. They avoid taxes illegally and legally, with trillions hiding offshore, as we've heard tonight. They lobby for public policies that don't benefit the public interest, in fact, cost the public interest, but enrich them. They form monopolies that asphyxiate competition. They cause social problems to make a profit: obesity by selling sugary drinks, the opioid crisis by selling OxyContin, the housing calamity by speculating in dodgy mortgages, climate change by selling fossil fuels, and then use philanthropy, some of the spoils of dubiously gotten wealth, to whitewash not just their reputations, but to actually create the ability to keep doing what they are doing, actively doing on an ongoing basis. These are knowing acts of immorality, in my view, and I have the interviews and private conversations to prove it, and I'm happy to share them with you at the bar over a green haze. Going for a good price tonight. What I've learned in my reporting is that many billionaires actually agree with me secretly about this, which is why I find it so interesting when people who are not billionaires, as far as I know, in this moment of Trump and Brexit and people actually looking within at our societies, it's so interesting to me when people who are not billionaires carry water for billionaires in a way that billionaires tell me they are not worth carrying water for. Now imagine that we could invent a perfect billionaire, we could take J.K. Rowling maybe, who had not done any of these things. I submit that it's rare. Very few fortunes have omitted all of the things. Even if you don't do any of the others, creative, dodgy tax trusts usually get them all on that one, in my experience. But imagine such a billionaire in theory. Is it immoral to be them? Yes, but in a way that requires us to go deeper. Thankfully, we are in Oxford, and we have been drinking. It may not be immoral in that kind of case, in the narrow sense that at a specific date and time, a person did a specific thing to a specific person. If that is our definition of morality, it may fail. It is immoral in the sense that they are complicit in a system that is unjust, that gives them a near monopoly on the fruits of progress, that allows them to hoard the future itself, and they enjoy this system, knowing its flaws. They get rich off this system, aware of its cruelties, and by failing to fight to change it, and often using a little bit of giving to burnish the system's image. They are, I believe, complicit in that profoundly immoral system. Sometimes it is easier to look backwards and understand this second kind of morality, the morality of allowing. Was it immoral to be a man who did nothing about patriarchy when women were denied the chance to work and vote and play full lives, when women were actively demanding those things and men knew that they were demanding those things? Was it immoral to be such a man? Was it immoral to participate in colonialist adventures, one way or another? Even if you were one of the good ones, you didn't hurt anyone in that country. You didn't, steal a crown or some jewels. Was that immoral? Was it immoral to be a feudal lord who was personally kind to your serfs, but refused to question the world in which you owned all the land, you were the only one living in the castle, and everybody else had nothing? Was it immoral to run a bank that profited from slavery if you yourself didn't own slaves? These are hard questions that call for a holistic understanding of morality that holds people responsible, not only for what they actively do, but for what they allow to be done when they have the power and voice to say no, to refuse to go along, to speak truth about a bad system, and actively choose not to. So yes, it is immoral to be a billionaire in the way that virtually every plutocrat I know goes about their pluting. And yes, it is immoral as well to go along with a system that keeps you on top and locks so many others out of a decent life if you do nothing concerted and self-threatening to change it. But above all, it is immoral for all of us. And that to me is what this proposition is actually about. It is immoral for all of us, for the society, to make choice after choice that prioritizes the existence of billionaires over the existence of decency and dignity for all. Thank you.